Hey everybody, Stu Smith here going live. Hope you are well today. Whew, busy morning already. Had a good day, another day at summer seminar, session 2. Got to work out with 800 high school kids who are preparing to serve in some fashion. So, um, thank you for that opportunity again. I wanted to share this one as you guys congregate on this live Q&A and CSS critique show. Saw this really, it was just a meme from a friend of mine, and I thought it was pretty useful. Um, a fact is information minus emotion. Okay, for instance, this is a book. This is my drink. These are vitamins, right? No gray area. Black and white. A fact is a fact. No emotion to it. An opinion is information plus experience. For instance, my opinion is teenagers have no business going to buds. Now, I say that because majority of the attrition rate are unprepared teenagers going to SEAL training. Now, I'm proven wrong every class, as there are a few teenagers that actually graduate. But overall, my generic opinion is teenagers shouldn't go. You need to be able to prove that you are a bit of a unicorn, right? You are tough, you're mature, you have a history of working out, working, doing hard things like that. So that is my opinion. Now, I am proven wrong. Like I said, that's the neat thing about opinions is often someone's opinion can be proven wrong. But an opinion is information that I'm giving out plus experience. That is my history. That is my experience. I am sharing my opinion in such a manner. Ignorance is an opinion lacking information. So, for instance, a young recruit, 17 years old, walks into a recruiting station, says, "Hey, I want to go to SEAL training." And the recruiter says, "Okay, we got to get you through all this and all that. Let's get the medical checks done. How's your PST scores?" And that young recruit says, "What's a PST?" That is ignorance. But unfortunately, that is what happens very often, right? That kid probably might not even pass the PST. Maybe he does, but maybe that person is not going to be thoroughly prepared, right? Because he hasn't done any research on his own, hasn't done any preparation. Maybe his athletics will partially prepare him for that, but chances are, if you don't know what the PST is, you probably haven't taken one. And if you do know what the PST is and you haven't taken one, that is also ignorance before you take it for real. So, ignorance is an opinion lacking information, and stupidity is an opinion that ignores facts. So, I guess labeling something as stupid is also an opinion to a degree. But, if you tell me the sky is red and it's up there and it looks blue, that is, I guess, stupidity. It is an opinion that ignores a fact. What's another good option of that? So here's what I consider stupid, right? I like hard workouts. I do hard workouts. I coach hard workouts. However, I can also see there are some people that are struggling with that workout, and I pull back on them to say, hey, maybe instead of this last 2 sets, instead of running, you hop on the stationary bike and bike. Do another form of cardio because you're new to running, you're going to get hurt. That person ignores that and just keeps running. And now that person can't run for the next 4 weeks because they got shin splints. All right, that's stupid. So working out to a level where you just hurt yourself and you can't train anymore, I would consider that stupid. Maybe that's my opinion on what I think is stupidity, but an opinion that ignores a fact. I guess that's doing stupid things as well. So I saw that. I thought it was kind of neat. Thought it was kind of a good way to break into this conversation. Usually I like to start off with like a 5-minute talk and then take your questions. So if you do have questions, send them. I saw a couple up here on Instagram. So just so you know, I'm going live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook all at the same time using StreamYard. Thank you for Pep today. Must be midshipman there doing that. Top of the morning. Make your books free. Dude. you can compare my pricing to other people's pricing that sells fitness books or tactical fitness programs online, and I guarantee you there won't be many that are less expensive than mine for what you get. I've seen people twice as expensive as mine. So I try to keep my prices low, and affordable. People like them. So nice thought. But by me selling more books, it enables me to train local kids for free. So, in fact, we have a lot of people come from out of state just to train with us locally. And so you're kind of donating to our free training program we do here called Heroes of Tomorrow. You can go to heroesoftomorrow.org, see a little bit about it. We train probably 15 hours a week for free. Doing basically our seasonal tactical fitness cycle. So we are in the last few weeks of spring training, getting ready for summer. In fact, I just wrote an article posted on StuSmithFitness.com about summer training, what you can do for summer training. My advice is to focus on your weakness so you can come out of the summer with a kind of more, most of us have kind of an open schedule over the summer, not too open. I mean, the days are longer, so you have more opportunities to train. You can wake up earlier. It's daylight, a little safer to run. It's, probably doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock at night. People are up a little later. Might as well put some training time in there. You can mix hard work in during the day. Next thing you know, you're working hard, you're training hard, you're becoming tougher at the end of summer, working on a weakness. Swimming pools are open longer during the summer. More swimming pools are open during the summer, depending on where you live. You have more opportunities to swim and work on that weakness. All right, let's see. Hey, I saw the Coast Guard helicopter crew at local air show every time I see them and ask them where the rescue swimmer is when he isn't there. They answer working out. It is their common joke. Yeah, that is true. And those rescue swimmers need to stay on their game. I mean, when your job is to save lives, your fitness is seriously important. In fact, I tell people all the time this. Like, if somebody tells me, hey, how do you work out every day? I just can't find the motivation, and I want to do this spec ops job. I'm like, dude, you're missing a big point of, just taking the initiative and desire to really do it. If you really wanted to do it, you'd make time to work out and work out. Plus, you're missing a major point of why we train in the first place. Your fitness level is one day going to be the determining factor in you living or dying, or your buddy living or dying, or someone you're trying to save living or dying. That's how important tactical fitness is, regardless of the job. Because there's potential dangers in just about every profession within the tactical world. Depending on where you are and what you're doing, it can be even more dangerous. And your fitness level is a common denominator between how you get through the day. So, yes, it is not, it is so true. If your job is saving lives, you better be working out. And just be a good teammate to your buddy. Hey, are there canines in the teams? Absolutely. If there are, what's the steps I should take to get into canine? You need to check out some of the Instagrams out there. There's let me see who's out there that works with canines. Ritland. So check out Mike Ritland. Really good. He's a canine, former SEAL, um, dog handler, former SEAL. There's let's see, who's the other canine? Just finding, yeah, Mike Ritland. There's a Kevin Devine. Oh no, not Kevin Devine. Devine's Canine Dog Training. Um, Divine 9S. Yeah, you search up some canine training. See who else. Frog Dog Canine. That's a cool one. That's a charity organization though. That's not quite what I was looking for. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole bunch of former SEALs that were canine handlers or dog handlers. How do you do that? You should probably ask them. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how that takes place. You know, if you're an enlisted guy in the teams, you get sent to multiple schools and you have multiple opportunities to learn a craft, whether that is lead climber, jump masters, snipers, medic, communications, canines, you know, even dirt bikes, right? As like scouts stuff. So there's a whole lot that you can do. So yeah, check that out. There are also, if you're a master at arms in the Navy, there are processes to become a dog handler for the Navy, and then you can try out for special warfare commands where you are the dog handler. Even though you're not a SEAL, you're the dog handler within a SEAL platoon. Sometimes high up, like Dev Group. So it's a strict screening process, but you can get there that way as well. If I'm a below average swimmer, should I start straight away the CSS or master freestyle? You know, that's a great question. I would probably start off with basic swim lessons from someone who knows swimming, obviously. And I would just start off with freestyle. Use freestyle as a tool to work on body position, understanding, you know, turning to breathe, rotation, and just get good at swimming laps. You know, be able to make swimming a workout versus just getting across the pool and dying and having to rest a couple of minutes before you do it again. You know, be able to swim hundreds of yards, build up to 1,500 yards in a workout, you know, and throughout that process, you can start playing around with the CSS, you know, especially once you got freestyle down, got a little conditioning in. Now you can have some foundation to build onto your CSS. That's how I would do it. I think everybody learns how to swim using freestyle or cross stroke first, maybe even breaststroke. But yeah, learn how to handle the body positioning and getting in shape for swimming because it is a different type of conditioning. And then learn the CSS. And if you want to learn the CSS, my advice is, you know, check out the CSS videos on this YouTube channel, on my Instagram reels, even on TikTok, if you have TikTok. But I have this article called CSS Help Series, and it's a master article with multiple other articles and videos embedded into it. And in fact, I'm going to put it in the comment section over here on Instagram. And YouTube, you guys should be able to check that out. It's a good way to learn CSS. If I wanted to be PJ, I wouldn't be able to immediately get that job, right? I would have to wait for a lot. No, that is wrong. Your information is wrong. That is not a fact. The fact is, you start with a recruiter, tell them you want to be part of the special warfare program, and they will start pre-training you before basic military training in the Air Force. Then you go through basic military training in the Air Force. Then you're going to go through a prep NDOC phase where you tend to get back into better shape. But you really need to be in killer shape before you go, because you have to pass the IFT before you get there. And you'll have to pass the IFT again when you're finished with basic training. And if you don't pass that, you're not in the program. So IFT scores, number one, get those things up there and start prepping for swimming with fins and rucking and running longer distances. Just very similar to the way you would for buds. And you sign up for that special warfare, open-ended special warfare community whenever you join, and you have to qualify for it. Then right after basic training, you go to selection, prep and selection. So you can start day one of your basic military training, and your next school will be spec ops related. So no, you do not have to be in the Air Force for 2 or 3 years before you go spec ops. You can do it that way, but you don't have to. Same for the Navy. Let's see. All right. Let's see, GM, sir, I like your PST workout, but wanted to take out the pyramid and sub-max day and just do the max day. And I do one lower body weight training day so I can focus on running and swimming 2 days a week. Thoughts? Yeah, that's fine. I tell you what, though, I wouldn't do max days 3 days a week. I have just seen people do that, and that kind of high rep failure volume almost strains the tendons a little bit, and you can be susceptible to some tendonitis and maybe even some negative results. So there's a reason why we do those sub-max supersets. You still get the same amount of volume. It's just not crushing you. But you can try it. I'm all open for, like, I just gave you an opinion, right? Information plus some experience. So yes, it could work, but from my experience, people tend to start having elbow and shoulder tendonitis when they do max rep sets all the time. So that's why I have in the pyramid, sub-max supersets, and the max rep sets workout all in 1 week, spread out over 6 days or 7 days. And just from my experience, that is a healthy way to be able to crank up the volume and at the same time increase your performance on that. And I have no problem with the lower body lift day once a week. That's fine too. If you want to add that in there, that's completely doable. In fact, some of my workouts have supplemental leg and upper body days in them, even though we're focused on calisthenics and cardio improvement. What's a good way to progress with no hands treading? I can do about 3 minutes maximum currently. Well, that's a good job, because a lot of people can't do 3 minutes. So my advice is, use your treading workout as a warm-up to your swim workout. So, for instance, you have a choice. One day, do a 500-yard swim for your warm-up, because whenever you take the 500-yard swim as a fitness test, you can literally say, This is just my warm-up. Easy day, right? It has a psychological effect as well as a physical effect. Treading can be done the same way, whereas instead of doing a 500-yard warm-up, you do a 5-minute tread. That's a good balance, I guess. I would say build up to an 8-minute tread, though, or a 10-minute tread. I think that is going to be more effective for you in just having the conditioning to handle longer treading without rest and no hands, because it is a conditioning thing. Just like rowing, biking, swimming, running, rucking, 3 or 5 different events all require a little bit of conditioning, specifically doing that activity. Like, you can't just run and be a good rower. You can't just row and be a good swimmer, right? All of it, even though you have a good cardio base, it will be different when you add swimming to it. It will be different when you add treading to it. Just the way the body has to work harder in the water. So just treat it like any other cardio event. I literally call treading vertical swimming. So as long as you are practicing vertical swimming, you will get in better shape with vertical swimming. It's a good question, though. Just did a test day, completed the drown proofing RACT test for the first time. So explain the RACT test for me. That is a new acronym. Not familiar with that one. I did the 50-50 yesterday correctly, lowering the rest intervals to 15 seconds. It's going to be effective. I was inhaling all of the oxygen off the pool deck. Yes, then it's working. Nice. Did you try to prepare for the 5.5-mile night swim in Buds? Nope. And it wasn't a night swim. We did a night swim, but I think it was a 2-mile swim. We did a lot of night diving. So before the night dives, we did what we call the boogeyman swim, which I think was just a 2-mile swim at midnight. It was in the bay too, so it wasn't that bad. But the 5.5 was during the day. And by the way, that's 5.5 nautical miles. So when you do the math on that, that's 11,000 yards of swimming. I did not prepare for it. I think the furthest I ever got in swimming was like 6,000 yards, which is 3 miles before I went to Buds. By the time you do the 5.5, you're in third phase at the island, and it's just a fun swim. You got to put out a little bit, but when you're swimming at the island, the water's 50, 60-foot visibility. It's just fun. Just looking around, almost like you're just snorkeling the island. Not quite, putting a little more effort than that in, but it was a lot of fun. It was entertaining, to be honest with you. Sorry, sir, I wanted to run and swim twice a day, 5 days a week, and only do the max workout and one leg day once a week. That's up to you. If put it this way, if I were ever doing that, that would mean I am so good at my calisthenics and leg days that I don't need to do them much, and I'm just trying to maintain them. And I'm trying to get better at my run and swim specifically. That's be the only reason I would do that. Try it. See if it works. Give yourself 6 weeks and see what your scores are. Are your runs swim better? I bet they would be. Are your calisthenics and cardio or your calisthenics tests better? I don't know. I think they'd probably be maintained. Okay, so Mike says what that rack test is. 20 pull-ups, 80 push-ups, 80 sit-ups, completed the SOCM screener. Recon calls it racked. It's 500-meter swim and a 3-mile run. Your programs work. You put in the work. Oh, nice work. Yeah, that's real similar to what we do at the SEAL teams for the actual SEAL team fitness test. This was back in the 90s, and recently I heard they brought it back. So you start off with pull-ups, you go push-ups, sit-ups, you do a 800-meter swim, and you do a 3-mile run. You can also opt to do a 1.5 or 2-mile ruck as well in place of the 3-mile run if you want. Yeah, interesting. Good job. Nice. Thanks. Thank you guys for sharing that info. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, I answered that question. I'm about to show some videos too of the CSS. I forgot to do that. What are your most important stretches to do on mobility day? For me, my hips and lower back. I try to loosen my hips, lower back, thoracic, twisting. I would say those are probably my tightest joints. So hip mobility for me is key. So for you, it may be different. For some people, it's ankle mobility. They're trying to get their ankles a little more mobile so finning doesn't hurt as much. Some are trying to get their shoulders a little more mobile so they can do perfect streamline. Lock those arms out over your head and be able to glide a little faster. All right, so looks like I got all the questions up to date. Let me share some swimming. What do we have here? I think I have a couple of good ones here you guys might like. And I got some that aren't so good. All right, I appreciate this. Do a Google search. I have answered this stuff a million times. Yeah, but I always understand too. There's a new 18-year-old kid that shows up and new to this journey. So I don't mind repeating some of these things, but you're right. If you put a question and my name in that Google search, chances are I've written an article or made a video about it. If I haven't, definitely send it to me and I'll answer it, whether that's by email or we'll do on one of these live shows. All right, so let me share this video with you. Let me see what we got here. Got to kick off the wall. Okay, so here's something like I would kick off the wall and stay in this position longer, right? Give yourself a good second or two. Also, if you quit wearing these big board shorts, you'll be able to glide a little faster too. So consider some tighter shorts, like jammers, bike short type stuff. You don't have to get a Speedo, but just, take out the big old pockets that are just grabbing water like a parachute and just slowing you down. You definitely will glide longer. This is a really good streamlined body position. You could tuck your head a little lower, like try to drop your chin a little bit instead of having your head popping up like that, looking forward. I will say you pulled way too early. You could have stayed in that glide phase a little longer. All right, so top arm, bottom arm, kick, hold the glide. All right, so not exactly pretty, but it's a good transition out of that pull-out into the stroke. Never lost any momentum. I will say this, your top arm could look more like a freestyle catch. That bottom arm looks good, but your recovery, if you were facing me, it looks like your hands are a little far away from your body, right? When you're recovering out here. Keep everything tight to you. That's going to help you glide a little longer. I think the biggest issue is your kick. If you notice, you don't go very far with your kick, and that right there is a very big kick. See that? That is like putting on the brakes when you are swimming. Your legs going out like that, it just stops you. Then you got to use your hip muscles to close those legs together, which is not as powerful as open your hips about half of that and then whip kicking from the knees down to gain more power from that kick. The power doesn't come from opening and closing your hips like that or your legs, it comes from whipping from the knee down. That's going to make you a lot better glide phase, because you should be gliding a little longer and further every stroke. But I like the head turn, head's in the water, recovery could be tighter. You can take out those little flutter kicks afterwards, you don't really need those. Overall, not bad. I would say you have the stroke down. Now let's clean up all those little pieces of it. All right, what's next? I'll pull up this next one and we can discuss it. I saw a few questions come through. Let's see. RACT is the Recon Aquatic Competency Test. It's a 5-minute bob, float, travel, front flip, back flip, mask retrieval. 5 bobs with the mask. Yep, that is exactly what they do in first phase at BUD/S, called the drown proofing test. So, different name, same test. In fact, there's a great workout. If you have my books, you probably already have seen that drown proofing workout we do that prepares you for that. In fact, I'll give you a link to it, because this is in after every mobility day. This is what we do. So check out this, drown proofing safely. Really solid way to prepare for drown proofing. And I promise you, it will make that RACT/drown proofing test so much easier if you can do this workout just once a week. You will crush that test. Let's see. Hello, Stu. This question is off topic. I'm non-U.S. permanent resident from Europe, and I want to serve in the military. So I'd like to ask you if you know someone who'd help me find a job in the U.S. I mean, they're hiring. You just got to come here and just apply for jobs. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, it depends on what you want to do. You know, you can work at a restaurant bussing tables. You could work as a landscaper. You could, if you have a degree and a certain skill set, you could work on that. But here's the deal. If you want to go spec ops, you have to be a citizen. As long as you have a green card, you can join the U.S. military, which is a permanent resident card. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. I appreciate all that. Okay. Let's do another screen share. Got this one pulled up and expanded. Somebody's thumb's in the way. That's okay. I think it'll move. All right. So good kick off the wall. I like this. Good pull out, but just kind of stops dead in his tracks. And notice that top leg. Where's it going? Top leg's going backwards. So basically, the way I teach this is the top leg always goes forward, no matter what side you're on. Now let's see if he changes sides, because if he changed sides, his kick would be perfect. See that broach right there? That's like swimming with the brakes on. Look at that. You see that? He changed sides, and notice what happens to the kick. It's the same kick as he did on the other side, but it's proper on this side. So I would consider this his strong side, where that top leg goes forward naturally, and this is his weak side, where his top leg goes backwards naturally. And you just have to get better at making this top leg going forward. Otherwise, you're doing the same kick for the entire swim. Right? So you want to have top leg goes forward both sides of the CSS. Now, you don't have to do your weak side at all, necessarily. I think it's a good way to mix it up. You need to learn both sides when you're swimming with fins. But the only thing really wrong you're doing here is that kick on your weak side, and this bottom arm is causing you to over-rotate. See how big it is, and you're going all the way down like that?
Huh?
See, whenever you look backwards, like back over here, because of that bottom arm, just over-rotating. So that bottom arm can be a little smaller, could be more like a breaststroke skull that does this versus all the way down, and then you got to wait for it to come all the way back up. It just screws up your recovery. Your arm recovery could be closer to your body as well. This doesn't look like a bad kick on this side, but I will promise you, you need to learn both sides of kicking, especially when you put fins on. So that's a good one. Oh, wow. Got a whole lot. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Recruiters will help you with that. So. All right, let's see. Morning, Stu. Currently doing your Air Force Spec Ops program. How can I tweak the intensity of the runs to avoid injury? I find if I go 100% every time, I can't perform. Make 1 or 2 days of long, slow distance day. So if it says, like, for instance, a 4-mile run and it's for time, just do a nice zone 2, take 40 minutes to do it, if you want. Or replace that with what I do for every mile I miss of running, I replace it with 10 minutes of non-impact cardio. So that would mean a 4-mile run would be a 40-minute bike. Mile and a half run would be a 15-minute bike. So at the end of the day, let's go through a workout. If you skip any of the runs, let's say you skipped a couple of 400s here, a couple of 800s here, the mile cool down here. So at the end of that workout, you missed 3 miles. Now you owe 30 minutes of non-impact cardio. You can apply that with more swimming, or you can apply it with some other non-impact cardio if you'd like. That's how I would adjust your intensity. Let's see. Okay, you guys are having your own discussion over here. Let's see here. Any other questions? All right. So let me go back to my video sharing and we'll do another CSS critique. All right, so we got to kick off the wall. Looks a little deep. Let's see how it turns out. Yeah, you're way deep. Maybe you're doing underwater swim. Nope. Yeah, you don't need to be that deep when you kick off the wall. I think the reason why you are that deep, though, notice what happens every time you glide. See how you go down? Like you go deeper underwater and you have to bring yourself back up. You know why this is? It's because you're swimming like a banana. If you were on your side, you'd be going to the right. But the fact that you're on your belly, you go down. So the reason why is if you take a look at a streamlined body position, you want those biceps on your ears and you going straight up and down like this, okay? But your shoulders are tight. Maybe your traps are in the way. So now every dive is like this. So now you are just going deeper because these arms act like a dive plane, like a submarine. So you're just going straight down. Well, not straight down, but you're going at an angle towards the bottom every time you do that. So work on your shoulder mobility. You'll be able to glide closer to the surface and you won't be doing this kind of porpoising effect going through the water. That's a quick fix on that. Let's see what else we saw. That's the biggest thing I saw there. Could just be a little tighter. I can just see you getting deeper every time you. That's a good pull out. I like that. Good transition. Really good. Top on. Bottom on. Kick. Good kick. I like that kick. Now you're staying on your side more, which is good. Tend to roll over on your belly just a little bit. That's really good, man. That's like a 49-second 50. So I think that's great. Keep your head down there. See how your head was up? See how your head's up there? Just keep your head down. No need to look forward like that. It's just putting on the brakes. And then just work on the shoulder mobility so you're swimming straight. In fact, I might even have a picture of that. Yep, right here. In fact, I'm going to share this with you and show you what you're doing that is causing you to keep going deep. So check this out. Stop sharing. Let me share this again. The heck is that? All right. So anyway, this is what you should be doing. This is kind of an exaggerated version of what you are doing, right? That is going to cause you to swim to the left if you're on your side, or swim straight down if you're on your belly. This will allow you to glide straight and fast. So work on that shoulder mobility, and you'll see a big difference occur. You rarely be on IG. I'm on IG every day. I'm on a video 2 times a week, but I post something every day. Normally see you on TikTok. Well, I'm on TikTok too, so it just depends on where you're getting your information from. Let's see. I did write an article on becoming a U.S. citizen and joining the military. So non-citizen U.S. military. You can join with a green card, permanent resident status, or you can become a citizen and then join. And your opportunities once you're a citizen are far greater than when you're not a citizen. Like you can't do jobs that require a secret clearance. So your options are limited as a green card holder that joins the military, but once you're a citizen, you can do any spec ops job you want. Non-citizen join a military, Stu Smith. So I want you to read this article. It's up on military.com. This might give you some guidance on what you need to do. Tuning in after finishing my 4-mile ruck, finished 54. Hey, that's not bad. You know, faster than 15-minute miles is solid. Getting it closer to 50 would be even better. So keep it up. It's really good. Let's see. Any other questions over here on Instagram? Nope, don't see any. Oh, got one over here on YouTube. Feeling beat up after years of weights. Man, I've been there. Need time to deload, thinking of 50, 70 month. Strength at 50%, weaknesses at 70% with full intensity and form. Your opinion. You know what I would do? Be honest with you. One, that doesn't make sense to me. 50% and 70%. Maybe there's another 50% of stuff you're doing with calisthenics and cardio or something. That's not a bad idea. Like cut your strength training in half and do something calisthenics and cardio wise. I personally would do just a full cycle of calisthenics and cardio, right? Just take some time off of weights altogether, or at least 6 weeks. Take 6 weeks off of weights And you may feel refreshed coming off of that, but you're still doing, cardio or, some form of cardio, whether that's increasing your running every week or non impact cardio, biking, rowing, throw in some swimming in there, um, and mix in some upper body calisthenics one day, lower body calisthenics the next. If you felt like you want to add some weight to it, add a weight vest to your upper body days, add some weight vest or kettlebells to your squats and lunges, and climb stairs, put a backpack on. So you can still work strength. It's just a different type of strength. It's more of a strength endurance combination versus actually working strength. Just give it a test. I mean, your idea, I'm sure, is fine. Give that a test as well. In fact, I would try 6 weeks of that and then maybe try 6 weeks of taking it off, all off, and just do calisthenics and cardio. That is really the basis of why I came up with seasonal tactical fitness periodization. That and running. So my running peaks were like just redlined every year, 40, 50 miles a week, year round. Boom, boom, boom. Did that through all my 20s and just was always broken. Not horribly broken, but just nicks and pains. Sometimes it was an accident with an ankle sprain. It was a bone issue. It was a joint issue, tendonitis. Just nagging pains that really could have been avoided had I just learned to cycle through my year like I do now. Been doing it for 30 years now. Well, not quite, 25. And so now I cycle through the year like a big bell curve. So the peaks of all my runnings now come in the middle of the year in the summer, and then I taper back down in the fall and winter. Where my lifting is, I now focus on, while my running is low, that's when I focus on my strength. So in the fall and winter, our progression with lifting is close to linear, somewhat. There's some flat areas in there as well, but then we come back around to the spring, we start deloading from the lifts, and we start ramping up the calisthenics and cardio throughout the spring and summer. So that's the cycle. I've just found that to work really well. Irish Sciences. Do I think there'll ever be a female SEAL? It's possible. I don't know, though. I'll be honest with you. When people ask me, hey, you think that guy will make it? I don't know. I might have trained that person for 2 years, given them everything I got. And there's something that changes in the middle of their training that really has nothing to do with their physical ability, right? There's so much more than just physical ability. Because your ability to handle negative feedback, your ability to be a good team leader or team player within your log and boat crew, your ability to handle discomfort of being cold, wet, and sandy all the time is hard. And that is something that is just, I have not been able to say yes with 100% that somebody's going to make it. And that's men, right? So do I think a female will make it? I put them in the same category. I've seen many capable women who are up there with, a good portion of advanced training guys that I would put in the 20 percentile range of men. So they're capable. I think they're capable. Will they do it? I don't know. There's a lot more to it than just being physically capable. And you can ask the 80% of the attrition rate every year of men, did they think they would make it? Did they think they would become a SEAL? And they'll probably all say yes. They thought it at one time, and something changed their mind. Sir, let's see. Any other comments? Let's see. All right. Well, if you guys got any more questions, I'm out of videos to share. If you want more swim videos, you can check out my reels over at Instagram. Ton of them over there. You can check out TikTok, all CSS videos and other swimming critiques over there. And then, you can find some on YouTube as well. They're a little older, but still effective. So, yeah, all right. This is worth answering. So, what are your thoughts on NSW seemingly having so much drama, toxic leadership, issues, shitting on each other, and throwing under the bus? I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I never saw that type of stuff when I was in. Seems like there is some drama going on with some folks. Not sure why. But usually if you see it, it's from people who are out talking about the community. No community is perfect. So, you're going to have, I always call it my shitbag theory, is there are shitbags everywhere. No matter where you go, you're going to have them. And some people think other people are, and it just gets not pretty. The fact that everybody's sharing that information now is probably a product that, everybody's a media company now. I mean, look at me. I'm doing live Q&As on social media, trying to put out good information that is factual with some opinion in there, trying to avoid ignorance and stupidity. So sometimes people like putting out too much of their opinion, in my opinion. So there you go. Don't really have an answer for you, be honest. All right, so you guys, I appreciate your time. I do need to go get back to work. If I missed your question, I apologize. You can always email me, stu@stewsmith.com. However, I do have countless articles that are great workouts embedded in those things. Such as the 50-50, that drown proofing workout, free running programs. All of those can be found at stewsmithfitness.com in the articles section. There's a little search feature. You can narrow it down. And then there's great programs in there as well, too, that work. And that's a fact. They work if you do. So check those out. All right, guys. This is Stu Smith. I'm out of here. You guys have a good day, and I will see you next week.